I'm Peterson. This is Jerry Shaws. We're attorneys with Parman and Easterday law firm, specializing in estate planning and elder care. And a question that comes up all the time in our office from various clients is, will the government pay for my long-term care? This year, about 9 million individuals over the age of 65 will require elder care of some kind. By current estimates, by 2020, 12 million Americans will require elder care, many at home, subject to family and friends as the caregivers.
Right. And one of the questions everybody asks us when they come in is, how do we pay for this long-term care? We know that at some point our health may fail. We would prefer to stay at home, or if we had to go into a facility, we'd like it to be an independent living facility. And if we have to, an assisted living facility, and only as a last resort do we want to go into a nursing home. But how do we pay for that care? Do we have the money available? Do our children have the money available? Are we going to wipe out our resources? So many of us have seen families and friends that have lost their entire life savings because of the costs of long-term care.
And many believe that Medicare will pay for that long-term care, but this is wrong. Medicare only pays for medically necessary skilled nursing care and home health care, and then only for a limited period of time. That is not ongoing. So most long-term care that occurs involves custodial daily needs such as bathing, dressing, going to the restroom. Medicare does not pay for this type of care. So if not Medicare, what about Medicaid?
And that's the next question. In Oklahoma, Medicaid has some very strong rules. First of all, you have to have limited assets. If you have more than $2,000 of what we call countable assets, you're disqualified. If you have income of over, what's the new number, $2,130 per month, or $4,235 per month with special planning, you're going to be disqualified because your income is too great. So it's really important to avoid impoverishing ourselves in order to receive this benefit. And the only way to avoid that is through proper prior planning.
And we know that planning for the final years is one of the most challenging things that seniors face in this final phase of life. No one knows what your future costs are going to be. That's why we strongly urge you to start your planning process as early as possible in order to plan what's best for your interests.
Right. We all know we need to plan, but we tend to procrastinate. We put off those things that we don't want to do, and we don't want to think about the possibility of needing long-term care for us or for others. So why should we overcome this procrastination, and why should we start planning? Well, first of all, people are living longer, and they're likely to need long-term care. I saw a statistic here from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services that says 70% of those over 65 will require long-term care at some point. That's a pretty frightening statistic. Care expenses are rising. In 2010, the average cost for a nursing home was $83,585 a year, and even in an assisted living facility was over $74,000 a year. Home health care aides are receiving $21 per hour, and all of these costs are rising faster than inflation. Family caregivers aren't available in most instances. How many of you have that nuclear family where your children live next door or across the street? So many of our clients, their children are in New York, they're in Timbuktu, they're in California, or places even worse in California. And so they're not available to provide that care, and so you're going to have to find an alternative. And then finally, early planning is essential. The government gives us some opportunities to protect our assets, but only if we plan ahead. And sometimes that's as much as 5 years before we're going to need that care. So it's important to do the planning now for what the future may hold, because no one knows whether we're going to need long-term care at some future point.
So if you have questions about how to protect your hard-earned assets, call Parman and Eastern, and we can discuss the specifics of your situation and provide options that are best available to you.
We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.